break. Okay, that was not supposed to happen. Jeez. Welcome, pregnant panthers. My name is HardKorePanda, and this is a mod that is actually quite interesting. It's a mod review of Smoke 6 Expanded Rails mod. I think that's right. Yeah, it's a collaboration mod between Smokesick and Blaze Extrius. The link will be in the description for those of you that want to check it out. And it adds quite a few new rails, quite a few new items to the game that are used to make the rails, a new crafting table, and as you can see, lots of new rails, most of which have quite interesting properties, but not all of them have unique properties necessarily. Some of them just take after the normal rail, but are slightly different. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that soon. So to start off the mod, I'm actually going to introduce the two new items, which are the Nether brick ingot, the Nether brick ingot, which is two netherrack ingot, not nether brick, netherrack ingot, and then an obsidian chunk, which is obsidian. Obsidian, like so, and cobblestone gives you 4 of it. And with that, you can make other items in the game. So going back over here, you have all of the rail bases in the game, of which there are plenty, and all of the nails and all of the bars. So rail bases, here it's iron ingot, 3 iron ingots. Here it's 3 gold, 3 emerald in such a fashion. Hang on. Should be able to edit that. Okay, yeah, 3. Actually, these are 3 emerald bars, 3 diamond bars, 3 lapis bars, 3 obsidian bars, which we'll get to, 3 netherrack ingots, 3 explosive bars, which once again we'll get to, 3 blocks of ice, an iron ingot, and an obsidian chunk, and then another iron ingot gets you the chain rail base rather, and then ender pearls give you the ender pearl rail base. Now we'll get to the nails last. The bars are created in such a fashion: emerald bar, diamond bar, lapis bar in the same way as the other rest of them. And the obsidian bar, which are 3 obsidian chunks, gives you 8. And the explosive bar are 2 nether quartz and a gunpowder. Let me just clear my inventory. Alright, so the nails. How do you make the nails? The nails are quite simple as well. For each of them, they take 1 stone and the respective resource. So this is an iron ingot and a stone block, gold ingot, stone block, emerald stone block, diamond stone block. This is a wool block and a stone block, so these are woolen nails, obsidian chunk and a stone block, and a nether rack ingot and a stone block. That gets you the nails. So with that, I think we should hop over to the new crafting table that you can get, which is the rails crafting table. It takes 2 iron ingots, a rail, 3 green wool, 2 iron nails, and a crafting table to make it. So what can you do with these? You craft all of the new rails that you see here, with the exception of wool rails, which are crafted in a normal crafting table and can use any wool, and they give you any color. Every wool rail for every wool block in the game. So yeah, and these wool rails are just like normal rails. They act exactly the same, except they're colored. So if you want to do an interesting subway system or something where they're colored tracks which lead to certain things, that you can do that. And I actually recommend that because it actually looks pretty good. It's quite interesting. So with this new crafting system, as I said, you can make all of these rails. I'm not going to show all of them because that would just take a really long time, and it really would be pretty pretty stupid. So I'll only show a few. Do this and maybe that sounds good for now. Do that. All right. So for instance, if we want to make the diamond monorail, you take 4 diamond rail bases, and then down here where there are the nails, you put nails in, and you get 16 diamond monorails, for instance, for that. If you want a netherrack monorail, it's the same thing, except with like so. I'm fairly certain the ender pearl monorail, I'm not sure if this is how it's crafted, I think, but I am not sure. No, that's not how it's crafted. Well, I don't know. I didn't actually look at that one. I just pulled it off of the rack in a sense and wondered if it worked. But I guess it doesn't. You have to use some other nail, which I am not sure. Yeah, that was a terrible example. So yeah, that's just kind of mix and match if you're not sure, or look it up, which I was in a sense too lazy to do, or at least I didn't look at that part. So here's the Obsidian monorail, but there happens to be a lot more than that. In fact, there are all of these, which are clearly more than just obsidian, diamond, netherrack, and whichever one I made, ender. So over here you have the wool monorail, wool rail, different colors, all matched up, lined up, same properties. And here you have the lapis monorail, lapis rail, emerald monorail, and emerald rail, obsidian, ice. These are the glowing monorails and the glowing rails. These are diamond obsidian rails and diamond nether rails, nether monorail, and just a brick rail. These are just made with normal bricks, not nether bricks or nether rack bricks or whatever you. Here's the chain monorail, chain rail, armed monorail and armed rail, powered monorail, nether star rail, ender pearl monorail and ender pearl rail, and the diamond monorail, diamond rail. So, what do each of these things do exactly? We'll start over here because we're here already. So the diamond rails and diamond monorails offer a faster overall speed in addition to an initial acceleration, so you don't need a powered rail or powered monorail for any acceleration. So it's actually quite useful. Over here we have the ender rail, ender monorail. And what's special about these things is that you can, these rails, is that you can't place them on a solid block. So as you can see, I cannot place them on solid blocks whatsoever. Instead, what you need to do is have an airspace below it. So when placing, you can place on the side of a block. And then you can just place using like that. Other than that, they don't really have much of a special property other than the fact that they can float in the air. And basically mobs can't spawn on them because they are, you just go through them. They're a transparent block. You can't stand on them. Fall right through them. However, as I said, they do not offer much else, so you do need to power them if you want to go at any decent speed or keep your speed when on them. Over here you have the powered monorail and the nether star rail. Right now, the nether star rail does not actually do anything. However, the powered monorail acts just like a regular powered rail, and by having a redstone power source linked up to it, it will offer an acceleration boost. And yeah, we're actually going to skip the armed monorail and leave that for later. The chain monorail acts as a pulley system in a sense. You can ride along it and it will pull the minecart and its and everything that's inside of it up a hill or horizontally without the usage of power. So I can just show this in a second with, so for instance, we're going up a hill here and then turning over this way. So if you want to use the chain monorail. Set it up like so. And go. So now it will pull you up as you sit in your minecart, and it'll just keep going as there doesn't require a power source or anything else. And yeah, it's actually pretty cool. The brick rails and netherrack rails don't do anything, unfortunately. I'm fairly certain the diamond, these guys don't really do much else. The diamond, obsidian, they don't offer speed boost, unlike their diamond rail and monorail counterparts. He's probably going to get to that eventually. Here are the glowing rails, and at night they illuminate and offer light. They're a light source, so yeah, they're the only rail in the game with this that would offer such. Ice rails slow the minecart down and the minecart's contents, so either going horizontally or vertically or down a hill, basically. It will slow it down. It won't really stop the minecart, but it will decently slow it down. If you want to stop it, you can use an off-power rail or a power monorail. Here we have the obsidian rails, which are not affected by explosions, so they won't break. Okay, that was not supposed to happen. Jeez, what the hell? Okay, yeah. Holy crap. I found a bug. He thinks I should report this. So, yeah, alright, welcome back. So, where we left off was covering the emerald monorail, the lapis monorail, and I was going to do the armed monorail. Now, the emerald monorail offers faster speed, actually quite faster speed than normal rails. I don't know what the speed difference between them and the diamond rails are, however, they're both fast. In addition to that, it says on the forum that this rail can be used to switch to other tracks, so I'm not really sure. From testing, it seems like any rail can be used to switch to another track, but maybe these ones have some sort of special property that I haven't really figured out yet. And then they can also be used in tandem with lapis monorails and lapis rails, which have an interesting property themselves, which we can see in a second. So, putting along, not much of a speed reduction or a speed increase, but at the end it makes you jump. And what causes this is the fact, or not really what causes it, I mean that's the property of these rails, is that lapis monorails, when it ends in a lapis monorail, ends in a lapis rail with no rail after that, it will launch the minecart and all of its content. So what can also give this a length boost, a distance boost when jumping or launching the minecart, is having a diamond monorail before it. So clearly there's that launch the minecart farther than the just not having diamond monorail. And finally, which the last rail is thus the armed monorail, which seems to this is what it's actually supposed to do, but apparently I think the obsidian monorail somehow took on the properties of the other rail, which I don't understand how this is. Seems to be just this rail, to be honest. Just the obsidian rail. Let's see. Yep, it's the obsidian rail. So yeah, I'm getting launched back and losing frame rate rapidly. So with the exception of that one bug, the mod seems pretty flawless, and I would recommend going and downloading it, giving the mod post a thumbs up or whatever that is, the little button at the bottom with an arrow, a green arrow that's pointing up, endorsing it or whatever they call it. Yeah, so as I said, links in the